Hi, folks, and welcome to the Entrefluential Life podcast. I'm your host, John Tanner, and I hope to be joined tonight with my co-host, Sebastian Tanner, my son. He's at the gym right now, but he said he's going to log in from the treadmill, so we'll see if he pops in. I'm excited to have you guys here with us tonight on episode 46 of season 3. You know, we took an 8-month hiatus, and then we came back last Tuesday to start off season 3. And I'm really glad that I did it. Although, it is let me tell you, if you're thinking about starting a podcast, let me tell you, just so you know up front, it is work like anything else. Now, it is exciting, it is fun, and there's a couple of things you have to challenge. You have to deal with stage fright because it doesn't ever go away. And so, like, there's that kind of nervous pit in your stomach before you hit the play button, before you go live. And it's kind of like in the back of your mind when you're leading up to it. But once you do it, there's such an adrenaline rush. Even though we're talking to the audience remotely, it's way better when you're dealing with the audience in person, live in front of you, that you can interact with and feel that energy, that vibe from. But even though it's remote, let me tell you, there's some kinetic energy that's going on. You feel, I don't know if it's kinetic is the right word, but there's an energy, and you can feel it come across when you engage like this. And when you're done, it's just like this natural high that you feel. And then you have to unwind and come down, and it's an interesting feeling, let me tell you. Anyway, I'm really happy to be here with you guys because I love the fact that we're able to do this. We're able to pour in and share information and value with people. And I really hope, and if you're thinking about doing a podcast, let me give you this advice. Well, there's some grand ideas about reaching a whole bunch of people and having a major impact and say, I was able to reach so many people. But even if you're able to reach just one person, then you've made a difference, and it's so worth doing. If we can impact that one individual, that younger version of yourself, then you're making a huge difference in the world. And so I encourage you to go ahead and proceed forward with it. If podcasting is not your thing, maybe you want to start off with blogging. That's how I got started. I remember back in 2012, which is, 12 years ago already, I started blogging. I created a WordPress account, and I still have it today. It's johnwtanner.com. Then I added some more. I added entrefluencer.club, and I have the Entrefluential Agent, the Entrefluential Investor, the Entrefluential Marketer, all these different channels. And I'm like, okay, I got way too much stuff going on here. Let me just zero in on a couple. So I still have johnwtanner.com and entrefluencer.club. And those are my two main blogging sites. And I try to blog every single week on those two platforms. Oh, and I have colemantanner.com, which is connected to my real estate business. And so I've been blogging, for 12 years already, starting with johnwtanner.com. And throughout that time, I've written books, I've created courses, shared tons of information with people all over the world, thousands of books I've given away around the world. Thousands of classes I've given away around the world as well. Over 60, I think about 60,000 students have taken classes on Udemy, and it's exciting. And to read the comments that you get, it's really cool. Now, it's a tour, it's a challenge to create content, but let me tell you, it's rewarding. Yeah, it's fun. I love the creative process. I love getting into the weeds with creating content. I love using Canva for creating graphics. I love using WordPress for the blogging platform. I love this. I love all of this media, all these different channels. And so my advice is just get started. Get in there and start creating stuff. And now you have ChatGPT. Now you can write scripts so easily. At least you can get an outline and dig deep into some resources. Like, there's so many. Like, I would go to the library and just grab 5 books on a topic that you want to teach, that you want to learn yourself, and then teach. And take those 5 topics, go through those 5 books, get all the information that you want, and then compile it into a lesson. Create a hybrid of all that content, and now it's yours, right? And then just put a citation to the 5 books that you reference when you write your content. So that's what I would do if I was just getting started. Go to the library, get some information, absorb it, break it down, make notes, and then share it. That's what I would do. Okay, so let's get into today's lesson. So if you're new to the program, our format at the Entrefluential Life and our audience is people who are interested in Christian life coaching, number one, because our foundation is a God First Life, And then we are entrefluencers, which means we're entrepreneurs and influencers, or at least we're trying to be influential to the people that we reach. And our message here at the Entrefluential Life is we want to give you physical, mental, and spiritual wellness and entrefluential building tips, business building advice. So we're going to start with the physical tip of the day, which is what we always do. And for the physical tip of the day, we have some advice from it's 8 health tips for the perfect summer body. Now here we are in January. We've gotten through the Christmas season, and we ate a lot of food that we shouldn't have eaten, probably too much that we shouldn't have eaten. We probably indulged. I know I did. I'm guilty of indulging in desserts like crazy. And so now it's time to get back into the gym, to start eating healthy again, and to burn off those extra calories that we picked up over the Christmas holiday and start thinking of the summer. We've got 6 months before we get to summer, but actually we want to be looking good for spring, right? Spring break. So let's have spring break in mind. But this advice is the 8 health tips for the perfect summer body. And it comes from healthways.com. So number 1, here's the 8 tips. Number 1, never skip breakfast. Number 2, increase your protein intake. Number 3, get 8 hours of sleep. Number 4, do mini workouts. Number 5, eat fruits and veggies. Number 6, aim for higher fiber. Number 7, drink plenty of water. And number 8, minimize restaurant meals. Okay, so never skip breakfast. You can do what I do. I go to Walmart or Target and I buy a big bowl of fruit, and I have that fruit and a package of bananas. And then so I'll have my fruit from the mix, like usually it's honeydew, melon, pineapple, and grapes. And then I'll throw in a banana in there too, chop it up and throw it in there. And that's my bowl. My breakfast bowl is fruits. And if I go to the gym, then usually I'll go to the gym first before I eat breakfast. My first thing is I drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning while I'm going over my notes. So like here's my goal book, and inside of here, like I'll write down my notes for the day, my positive affirmations, Bible verse, and then whatever I'm working on, I'll take notes there for business. And then after that, I usually go to the gym and I'll run, I'll lift weights, and then I come back. And after I take a shower, well, actually, immediately after I get back, I make a protein shake. And then I take a shower, get dressed, and all that stuff. And then before I leave for work, I'll eat a bowl of fruit. So I highly recommend for that breakfast, you could do a bowl of fruit and a protein shake. So now that's 1 and 2 right off the top. And eat fruits and veggies, that's number 5. So you can 3 birds with 1 stone. So anyways, that's our physical tip of the day to get you ready for your body ready for the summer. And our in our business tip of the day, I'm going to go to the mental tip of the day next. But for our business tip of the day, I just want to give you a teaser for what's coming for the Entrefluential business tip, right? Which is going to be at the end of the series. So we're going to teach you. I'm going to teach you lead generation. Oh, there's Sebastian. Let me bring him in. Hey, Sebastian.
Huh? Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I have to use my my headphones right now.
All
I'm
right. See you on
on
the
the treadmill.
treadmill.
Yeah. I
Outstanding,
was,
man. Great to see you. I'm glad you were able to join us today.
yeah, thank you. I'm sorry for running a little bit late. It was the Wi-Fi over here was ridiculous trying to do it on Safari, so then I had to download StreamYard because it
Okay.
kept blocking my camera and video. So a
Okay.
little hiccup, but I made
Yeah,
it.
no problem. But you made it, so that's what's important. That's awesome. So I was
Yeah,
just going over I just went over the physical tip of the day, which I gave 8 health tips for the perfect summer body. And
great.
now I was giving a teaser for the lead generation, the business lesson that we're going to teach tonight, which is on lead generation. And I was going to pose a question. I was going to ask, why should people be concerned about or be interested in learning about network marketing? And in our network marketing program, I'm going to talk about lead generation, right? Strategic lead generation.
Yeah,
And if it's like most of our audience, the people that we try to reach are people that are like us, which I'm a real estate broker. Sebastian he's a manager of a gotcha removal company, and he's also studying personal training, right? So personal fitness. So we are very much into real estate, entrepreneurship, personal fitness and health. And so if you are one of those people, if you fit into one of those compartments, health and wellness, real estate, life coaching, business coaching, entrepreneurship, then you could benefit from lead generation, because we all need clients. If we have a business, we need clientele. And so learning about, and the second thing is that we all need supplemental income, right? Nobody, I don't care if you're a doctor or a lawyer, whatever you are, nobody is going to turn down an extra stream of income. Would you agree, Sebastian?
Absolutely.
And so network marketing is one of the platforms, one of the pillars of income production that you can do with any business. And so, so this course that we created, the boot camp for network marketing, this is just one component. It's from module 1. It's just the first part that we're going to talk about lead generation. All right. So now we talk about our mental tip of the day. And I have 15 positive self-esteem affirmations. And this is coming from right now we're doing a 21-day mind hacking challenge. And that mind hacking challenge, we're sharing a daily affirmation that you can reprogram your mind, because it takes 21 days to program yourself with a new mindset. And so we're giving you 21 days of positive affirmations, mindset programs that you can review for 21 days. And if you do that, it'll improve your life, right? Because, right, Sebastian, we improve our lives step by step, one day at a time.
Absolutely. That's I think part of the journey, the best part of that journey is that doing it, taking it day by day, really not being too worried about the future, having a plan for it. But I would say just enjoying the moment is one of the hardest things to do, because we're so worried about everything else not working out properly the way that we want it to. So being able to get past that, and when it comes to business, personal or professional, the personal and professional parts of your lives, the different aspects, when you can stay in the moment with all of that, you have more control over what's going on. So you're making the moves rather than reacting to life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the 15 positive self-esteem affirmations. And if you ever have dealt with low self-esteem, and let me tell you, about 80% of the population deals with low self-esteem, whether they know it or not. Most of us are aware when we have low self-esteem. We are aware that we have a problem that we want to deal with. And so these positive affirmations, if you go back to these, it'll help you to improve how you feel about yourself. And once you raise your level of self-esteem, your self-encouragement, self-love, then you're able to love other people. And that's what we're all called to do, right? Sebastian, we're all called to love people, love our neighbors as ourselves.
Absolutely.
All right, so the first one is, I add quality and value to my life and to the lives of others.
That's great.
Number 2 is, I do what makes me feel alive. Number 3 is, I enjoy spending time in quiet places as well as spending time with other people. Number 4 is,
you gotta have a good balance of both.
Life. Number 5 is, I believe in myself even when no one else does.
That's the best one right there so far.
Right?
Yeah, that's one of the most powerful.
What's that? Number 6 is, I'm gifted in unique ways. Number 7 is, I feel accepted and loved.
That's important to feel.
It is. It absolutely. All of these are important. Number 8 is,
yes,
I am independent, yet I still choose to depend on others.
All right.
Number 9 is, I accept myself completely and lovingly. Number 10 is, I embrace myself fully and joyfully. Number 11 is, I am superior to my old self.
Oh, that one's powerful.
It's like, I'm you 2.0, I'm me 2.0, I'm me 3.0, right?
Yep, exactly.
Like Martha 5.0.
Yeah, Martha 2.0. You that gives you power in your mind. Like
No doubt.
Thinking of yourself in that way is like, okay, you've made mistakes before, but that's a
No,
different
and
version
then
of yourself.
our North Star is that vision of who we want to be, right? And so we're always
Yes.
like video games, right? You need to level up,
Yep.
to get to the end. So yeah, it's like you're always a step better than you were before. Even if
That's how you know you're making progress.
even if you have a failure or a setback, it's a learning experience to help you get better, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, number 12 is I never underestimate my abilities.
I like that one.
Number 13 is I embrace self acceptance.
These are all amazing.
Number 14 is I have the right mental attitude for success.
Perfect.
And number 15 is I enjoy helping other people.
That one, a lot of those are all. Every single thing that you listed is exponential for people to think about, and I think that one might be the most important one. See, I like the other one is the most important before, but that last one is not just what you can do for yourself; it's what you can do for somebody else. And I mean, if you're not helping somebody, then your business isn't going to work because you're not solving any problems. So, what money are you going to make if you're not giving somebody something that they view is going to help them out? And then, aside from making money off of it, when you give and you help out your friends and your family, whoever it is, someone you don't know, it makes you feel really good inside. And that's something that you can't pay for that feeling. Doesn't matter
100.
what you get. That's like a raw, natural. You just did something good, and when you don't expect anything in return, that's when you get the ultimate extent of that feeling. Like you feel amazing. You just help them out. You did something good for somebody other than you.
I agree 100%. And the thing is, it's always it's not the same for everybody. So I can't make a blanket statement and it apply to everybody because that's just completely untrue. It's unrealistic. What I can say about myself, and there's probably people out there watching that can relate, is that whenever I volunteer, and I mentioned this at Sunday school one day, whenever I volunteer, I'm always hesitant and I don't want to do it. I know that I need to do it. I know that I'm going to feel good when I do it, and I know I'm going to feel great about it afterwards. But before
But
it
getting
comes,
up to that point is hard.
before
Like,
it, and I'm already regretting it. Like I'm already like, God, I don't want to do this. I have to go do this, and I'm
yeah,
resenting it. And I know it's going to be a good thing to do. I know it's good for me, but I still resent it because of my selfishness, right? Like I'd rather be reading a book, listening to a podcast, watching a YouTube video on learning how to do something, writing something, creating new content, or watching Suits or watching Kung Fu, like one of my favorite TV shows, or Star Wars. Like I just watched Star Trek, like for the umpteenth
oh,
time. Like you know what I mean? Like I can go and watch the whole Harry Potter series. Like I'd rather be doing that than go do this work, right? Like I gotta go box Christmas presents at Operation Christmas Child, right? But when I get
yeah,
it, I really freaking appreciate it. So we have to work through those challenges and get to the other side of it, right? Push through to get to that blessing because it is a blessing to others, and then that blessing comes back to you. You know what I mean?
definitely.
I
It's
don't know if anybody
it's
wants to
definitely
listen, but
hard. Like I relate
yes,
to you
like
on the part where you're like not the after feeling, not the during feeling, but the feeling before. Like you kind of dread want to do that because you're not really looking forward to it like you are when you get yourself a new pair of shoes or when you go and get a haircut or you want to go
right,
get a nice meal somewhere.
self-serving.
You're like, oh yeah, exactly.
Of course, we're all that way. We all want indulgences, whether that be food, shelter, clothing. The list is huge for indulgence, self indulgence, right? And that's the whole thing about the Christian life. It's really shifting from selfishness to selflessness, which is what Jesus
Yeah,
taught us to do, right? To serve other human beings, to serve each other, right? He says,
yeah,
"Love your neighbor as yourself. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself." Well, eh, I mean, that is what we're called to do. That's it. You know, punto y aparte. That's it. And it's a challenge, man. But the more you walk with Christ, the more compelled you feel like doing it. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
All right. So we went through the physical and the mental tips of the day, right? On the physical thing, we gave you the 8 things to do to get your body ready for the summer. For the mindset, we gave you 15 positive self-esteem affirmations. Now, Sebastian was supposed to do the spiritual tip of the day, which is from the book of Obadiah, but he can't do it because he's on the treadmill and I got the book. So I'm gonna have to read it. Is that okay with you, Sebastian?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
All right, so this is from Living the 66 Books of the Bible by Dr. David Jeremiah. He's one of our absolute favorite pastors in America, probably in the world. And he wrote this 66 summaries of the 66 books of the Bible. So it's taking the Bible and condensing it down to like 3 pages, which is really cool. And so if you're new to the Bible, then this is going to be cool for you because you're going to learn something brand new that hopefully will be influential to you, right? This is the Entrefluential live podcast. And then if you're seasoned, you've been walking with God for a long time, great. Then this will be a nice refresher for you, right? So it's kind of like we kind of like build in this Bible study into our podcast show. So that's what we're doing right now. So here's the summary. It only takes a few minutes to read the book of Obadiah. Little is known about him but he came from alongside Judah to condemn the enemy across the Jordan River, the nation of Edom. The Edomites lived in the high mountains across from Israel, and they inhabited cities carved from stone. The city of Petra is a more recent example. The Edomites should have been on good terms with Israel, for they were relatives. In the Old Testament, the patriarch Isaac had 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. The descendants of Jacob became the people of Israel, and the Edomites descended from Esau. But Esau had rejoiced at Israel's misfortunes. One striking verse contains this warning: "But you should not have gazed," meaning gloated over, "on the day of your brother in the day of his captivity, nor should you have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction." We can sin with our attitudes. When down, we can grow bitter. When up, we can gloat. When we feel an inward smugness or a root of bitterness, we should confess it as sin. It's one thing to rejoice when justice prevails, but it's another one to withhold compassion for the person or people involved. In all things, we must prayerfully trust God and leave the end result with Him. As we walk with the Lord in the light of His Word, we grow into godly maturity. Don't be like the Edomites, gloating over their enemies' misfortunes. Show compassion to others, even when someone opposes you. That's pretty awesome. I love this lesson because it's like, don't get too haughty, like too high-minded about yourself when you're doing good, and then also don't cheer when your enemies or people that have hurt you in the past are doing bad.
That's
the key theme.
yeah.
When you
That's
feel
hard. That's hard not to.
others, or when others experience failure, work hard to maintain an attitude of compassion toward them. What do you think about that?
I think it's really something for people to think about. I mean, it's hard. It's crazy how the messages play a part, like even to today. Now we're in 2024, and the message behind that story is still the same. It's hard to not wish bad on to people that, especially, have done you wrong, and to get over that and still wish them good. And what you were saying about um, not getting too high and mighty when things are going good or when you're doing good things, it applies in almost every aspect of your life. Whether you're at work or wherever you are, you can't ever get too cocky. Can't ever stray away too much from being humble, because you will get humbled, and it can come in many different ways. So when you stay humble and you stay with a nice equilibrium of you're doing good things for people, but you're not letting it go to your head, you're not becoming too full of yourself, because that's a sin, I believe. I don't know what the sin is,
Yeah.
but It's
Yeah.
not good to be full of yourself.
Pride
Not good to be, yeah, too prideful. That's what I was looking for.
instead of pride. Yeah.
Um, I've met a lot of people that have a lot of pride, and even myself, looking back on some ways that I would, and with different ways that
Oh,
I would
I'm
act.
guilty too, man.
What was that?
I said I'm guilty too. Yeah.
It's easy to be prideful,
Yeah. When
especially if you're doing something good or whatever. Like, hmm? What was that?
I said especially when you have a victory.
That's the next thing that I was gonna say. That's one of the biggest moments because then you get cocky. You're like, okay, especially if you're playing a game, right? Like you're playing with like family Monopoly or whatever. Then you get too cocky. Oh, I got all this money now. I'm buying Boardwalk. I'm buying Park Place. And then all of a sudden, the other family member really had some money on the side stash that you didn't know about because they're playing, sneaky, and they're trying to make their come up on the low end, and you don't realize that all of a sudden we're going to start slamming you. They're going to buy this property, that property. You're going to land on them. Boom, your money's fading away. So it's kind of like you don't want to get too cocky because you might be in the lead right now at work or wherever it is, and then all of a sudden you might not be getting so many hours. I knew a guy that was at my job that was too cocky and gloating about this. Oh, I did this many jobs in a day, or I did this and that, or I get the most hours, I get the most overtime every single week. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't getting enough hours. And then, um, he starts complaining about having to get a part-time job. So you never know what your work situation could end up being like. And that's very serious because you got bills to pay, you're relying on that, and you get too cocky. All of a sudden, you're looking for hours. Now you just got humbled because you didn't stay that way when you started getting all that money and all the hours. You got
Yeah. You never
cocky.
know when it's gonna go away.
Let me get my jacket. Yeah, it's I mean, with anything like even in games, video games, board games, whatever it is, it's like the second you get too prideful, then the part that's going to humble you is going to come next. Maybe not right in that moment, but eventually it's going to come, and then you know that's when you sit there thinking, I should have been a little bit more humble about that situation, or just as an individual. A lot of people get really cocky. I've seen it in a lot of different places, like different jobs, whatever, wherever it is. It's easy to feel that way when you're winning, but then the second you have a loss, then it's like your attitude completely changes, and now you're not so confident anymore. But it's like the ups and downs is bound to happen no matter what. Like when you have an up, you're going up, then the down has to happen in some different way, whether it's the car gets a flat tire or whatever it is.
We just lost your audio, Sebastian. Can you? I don't. I can't hear your microphone. Sebastian, did you hit mute?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. You can hear me now?
Yep.
Sorry, I was grabbing my jacket.
Okay.
Sometimes you go to a different place in this gym and you can't hear nothing. Or you
Okay.
get the Wi-Fi signal starts to cut out.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, let me
But
wrap
yeah,
up the Bible lesson here. The key
yep.
challenge is show compassion to others, even those you don't agree with, especially when they are encountering difficulties or trials in their life. The key verse is the pride of your heart has deceived you, you who dwell in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, you who say in your heart, who will bring me down to the ground? So it's like what you're talking about, Sebastian. And then the key prayer is, Lord, you're a righteous and just judge, full of compassion. May I show your compassion and understanding to others and be neither bitter nor gloating toward people who may oppose me and my faith. I think that's pretty awesome. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
All right. Hey, is it snowing over there?
No, it's just rain.
Oh, okay. Sebastian's up in Boston, everybody.
Yeah, it's there's some snow on the ground. There's snow really bad. Tell you one thing. Oh, I got that here. They tell you one thing, and then it's really not happening. This it was supposed to be Saturday, I think the snow was supposed to hit us on Saturday or throughout the night and then into Saturday during the day. And then all of a sudden, you look outside that night, no snow outside. The next day comes, that's when it starts coming down. It came down pretty hard for a little while, but it really wasn't too bad. It started getting warmer out here, and now the snow's not really sticking just in the grass and stuff. It's a lot less than I was expecting. I wanted to build a snowman. I guess still haven't done that.
Well, when you do, I want to see a video of it, okay?
Oh yeah, I gotta take a video. I told Michaela that I wanted to build a snowman. I don't think I've ever built a snowman before, so I was like,
I
when it
never
snows, I
have.
want to. You never have?
I
um,
built a sandcastle.
we've built a lot of sandcastles being from Florida, but oh man,
In Cranton Beach.
oh yeah,
That was
seriously.
fun, man.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. We just have a great time,
Yeah, we did.
barbecuing, everything.
Barbecuing,
The
yep.
beaches up here are not like the beaches down there. Down there it
Yeah,
looks more fun.
you got different beauty. You're going to very soon build a snowman. We can't do that here.
Exactly. Hopefully the next time it snows, I'll be able to have some more stuff to work with because it was gonna be like a little mini Olaf if I had tried to go out
Oh,
there.
there-
Olaf.
I think your Uncle Tommy built a mini Olaf in Ohio.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, it's melting over here. It was nice today. It is a little bit colder today though. The past few days, for me, I like the cold now, so I can deal with it. But then
Yeah.
today, it comes like a day like today where it gets a little bit colder than you're expecting. It was I felt it. Usually I'm not too cold, but
Well,
man, I
it's going
felt
to
it
be in the
today.
30s here tomorrow morning, so I think people are going to be eating iguana sickles for breakfast.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Iguana sickles. Walk around. They're gonna walk around the town center, getting them for free.
Honestly, I've probably only seen like one or two iguanas in Jacksonville, but down in Miami, you see them everywhere.
Oh, especially when I was in West Palm, there was.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
did?
you're driving down like the convenience stores or whatever. You run in some errands, and then if you see where the little canals are on the sides of the roads,
Oh, yeah,
I
they're
mean,
always by the
they're
canal.
they're they're tanning out there. They're getting a free
Yeah,
tan.
yeah. Sunbathing.
Oh man, this is a whole bunch of them. Some of them are crazy. Some of them are huge. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't like getting too close.
I know, man. If we ever get down to like craziness, we can go hunting for iguanas.
Yeah, we'd have to go. We'd have to get some gear. Hunt the iguanas, the birds. Go do like
Barbecue
bushcraft.
iguana.
We have to get all the materials ourselves. We're gonna have to go
It tastes
hunting.
like chicken.
Tastes like chicken. Wasn't that in Hunger Games? The rat?
The cows for Chick-fil-A are gonna say, "Eat more iguanas."
Oh
Okay.
man.
All right. So let's pull it back into the entrepreneurial tip of the day, which is the business tip. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This is what I got for you. So I wrote down for part one of this class. It's how to target prospects, and we talk about the disc model so that you can understand more about targeting the right type of client to work with. And this is also important for you when you hire employees, right? The disc model are four different character types. DISC stands for four different types of characters. And when you understand what those models are, it'll help you communicate your message with four different types of people that they fall into those different categories. So it helps you write your messages for those four types. So instead of having one marketing message, you should have four different marketing messages that appeals to each of those four personality types. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. And then on top of that, I have four sample avatars because as a business owner, you should create your ideal client avatar so that when you're communicating your messages to sell your product or service, that you can communicate your message that conveys to those different avatar types. So I have four examples that we're going to get into the next session, But for this session, we're just going to go over the DISC model, and then another thing that we're going to talk about later on is we're going to talk about having a primary market and a secondary market. So to give you an example, as a realtor, my primary market, if I'm selling a product or a service to other realtors, then my primary market will be real estate brokers and real estate agents. But my additional primary market, like a subcategory of the primary market, will be people who are connected to my industry, like mortgage lenders, attorneys and title agents, home inspectors, real estate contractors, building contractors, and real estate investors. And then a secondary market that goes outside of that primary market could be people that I have affiliations with. So like I wrote down health and wellness, right? Because we talk about our podcast dealing with spirituality and physical fitness and mindset. So we could talk to like mental health counselors, psychologists. We could talk to the health and wellness people that have spas, hair salons, chiropractors, life coaches, nutritionists, makeup artists, and so forth. That would be like the secondary market. So it's important to have that as as a big picture. You know who your primary market is and who your secondary market is. Now, to give you some information about the DISC, to give you an explanation of what DISC stands for, D is dominant. It's a dominant personality, and that type of character has they're assertive. They have confidence, and they have a results-oriented approach. And individuals with dominant personalities tend to be direct. They tend to be competitive. They're goal-driven, and they're often taking charge of situations. So these are your leaders, your CEOs. They make very quick decisions too, by the way. The influencer, the influencer personality type is characterized by their outgoing and enthusiastic nature. They're often persuasive, they're sociable, and they thrive on building relationships and connections with other people. Sebastian, you know anybody who falls in that category?
I'm looking at him.
Yeah, I think your mom is like that too. I think we all have.
She's very, it runs in the family for sure. She has a very big personality, very charismatic, very people oriented, just like very outgoing is the perfect word for it. Not a lot of people are very outgoing. I kind of get it from you. I can have a conversation with any random stranger. I don't know. It's like I kind of like a Southern thing, kind of just someone says, "Hey, how you doing? How's it going?" If someone brings something up, I don't know. I can have a conversation. I think that's why I was good as a server, because of us being like that naturally. That's why you were good at it too, you know. And anything that we do in relation to people, other than customer service, I pride myself in having great customer service. When I'm at any type of job, I feel like I can relate to people a little bit differently than some of the other workers, because I'm naturally like that. It's not really hard for me. I don't feel uncomfortable. And that's where the issue is with some workers. They kind of feel uncomfortable talking to somebody new, you know, and when you practice being more outgoing, we practice that all the time just because it was just natural, you know, like you have the kind of energy that makes people want to talk to you, that you want to be as a Christian, you want to be a light to others. So when somebody recognizes that light with that lit up personality, you know, you're like, your soul is lit up. You have more energy. You have a more positive vibe, a more positive aura around you. So it makes people want to talk to you more. And when you just do that all the time, now if I go and I'm a server again or whatever I do, whatever job I have, it's a good trait to have, because I can be personable with people and I can be relaxed, giving them the best service that I can. And I just try to make it fun, you know, like work hard, but also have a good energy at the same time. Make someone laugh, you know, you make someone laugh, you make them smile. Now they're having a great day because they just smiled, and maybe they were having a pretty rough day before they met you, you know? So it's like having that personality trait can take you really far in life, because like that outgoingness, that's how you succeed, you know. When you try to get that job, you being somebody that's going to call the manager, "Oh, I want to introduce myself." Who's doing that really? You know, how many people? I'm sure a lot are, but with all the people in the world, not too many people are putting themselves in a position that's a little bit uncomfortable. You got to be outgoing with different people. You don't know them.
Well, you have to hire the right type of person for a sales job, right?
Exactly.
So an influencer personality and charismatic, outgoing is the kind of person you want to hire to be like a call center rep. You know?
Yeah, somebody that's exactly. Yeah, you can get
Right.
along with people well, communicate efficiently.
There's a phrase called social intelligence, and so when you understand the DISC model, you can pinpoint the personality types. Like, is this person a D, I, S, or C? And then you know how to communicate with them in the way that feels best, most comfortable to them, and that's social.
Mm. That's like the phrase "read the room." You know, my girlfriend kind of says that a lot. Like, read the room, but instead of reading the room, you're reading the person. You know,
Read the
that's
person.
like you read the
Exactly.
person, see how what they respond to, kind of see what they say, see how they are, and then you kind
Yeah.
of match that a little bit
Exactly.
to make them comfortable.
Yeah, it's called mirroring, and it's a psychological term for relations, human relations. And so
Yes,
what you want to do is, it's actually also, it's one of those, um,
it's also in Karate Kid. Remember
yeah,
the new one with Jaden Smith, and he was like going like this, and the guy was moving his head, and he was in the crane stance.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Right. Yeah, I love the crane. That was, and also the drum too. He did the drum move too. He mirrored the drum. Uh,
Yup, exactly.
in part two. So yeah, mirroring. That's actually neuro linguistic programming. They say that that's part of that. That's mirroring. Anyway, it's definitely psychology, and it definitely helps the person
Yes,
comfortable. And that's what you're doing. You're not doing it to manipulate. You're doing it to find common ground so that they will let down their guard and open up to you.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
So the third model is S, right? The S is the steadiness character. And the steadiness character, that personality type, exhibits a cooperative and accommodating nature, valuing harmony in interpersonal relationships. Right? Cooperative, accommodating, and harmonious. Individuals with the steady personality type tend to ignore avoiding conflicts. I'm sorry, they prioritize avoiding conflicts, and they're often seen as being agreeable and compliant in their interactions with other people. Do you know anybody who's like that, Sebastian?
I'm sorry, it cut out a little bit. You said somebody that's like in compliance with other people. That was the last part
Uh,
that I heard.
yeah, they're agreeable and accommodating.
Agreeable, agreeable and accommodating. You
Yeah,
know, that also kind of reminds me of you, Grandpa. You know,
yeah,
I know you guys are definitely easy to agree with in conversations. You
yeah,
say we think pretty much alike, you know, so we're
yeah,
definitely agreeable in that aspect. But even grandpa, even grandma, you know, even I think the whole family
yeah,
has an agreeable personality. You're easy to talk to, and um, you know, getting along with is it kind of ties hand in hand with that. So those traits that you said reminds me of you guys.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I think I definitely have a little bit of all four of these, and it just comes out in different times. Okay,
They,
number four.
yeah.
Number four is the conscientious personality type. And the conscientious person is characterized by a preference for stability, order, and attention to detail.
Oh, yeah. I know who. Yeah, I could think of somebody like that in a
Yeah, I can
second.
too.
I think we both know who we're thinking about.
Yeah, I think we agree.
Everything with this person, everything's got to be wow. This person just cut us off in traffic. Wow, they just drove right into our lane. It's
Oh,
crazy.
exactly.
Anyways, it's crazy out here. These drivers out here. I thought Florida was bad. Um, that personality type is like somebody who, if every single thing isn't going a part of their routine and everything's not the way that they want it, they might
Yep.
have a mental breakdown because of
Yes,
that, you
yes.
know. And that's you've experienced it, I've experienced it. It's
Yeah,
definitely like all hell breaks loose when that happens, and
yeah,
I think with people with that type of personality, you got to get a little bit more used to stuff is not going to go the same way that you want it. The way that you envision it, the day
yeah,
might not go like that. You know,
yeah,
at work and whatever.
yeah,
Sometimes in your personal life, you might catch a flat tire. Whatever it is, you got to kind of be I can't think of the word. Expendable kind of comes to mind, but you have to be adaptable.
Or
Adaptable is the word for it. Or
amenable.
that too, like you have to be able to kind of roll with the punches
Yeah,
and adapt to the situations that you're in. And even like with the house, like they get so like everything's got to be in this certain spot and this and that. And
yeah,
okay, sometimes things might get misplaced for a second here and there or whatever, even for a little bit. It's not the
yeah,
end of the world. You can put it back in the spot or whatever. I mean,
yeah.
it's definitely
So
not good to live like
you,
too much.
what kind of employee, if you're hiring somebody, and for the conscientious personality, like let's say they do a disc assessment, and you see that their dominant character trait, their personality trait, is the conscientious personality, which means stability, order, attention to detail. What department in your business would you put that person in?
Someone essentially in a higher role with management, something like that, where I know that they're going to get the personality type is amazing for work because you know that they're going to get the job done the way that
Yeah,
it needs to be done. They're going to have quality control.
yeah, quality
Like in a
control.
restaurant, like the person I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay. He
Mhm.
has where the chefs that he's having, they're doing the chef work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're coming in, they're on the line, whatever. He's over there doing quality control. I don't know what the role is in the kitchen for that. I forgot, but that's the person that's the expediter. They're making sure that the food's not going out without quality control. And if you hire somebody like this, whether
yeah,
you're in a restaurant or you're in a different type of business, they're going to
yeah.
make sure that the quality control of the work getting done, if the stock needs to be in check, they're going to make sure that the workers are doing that, or they're going to do it themselves, or
Yeah.
both.
Well,
Hopefully.
the kitchen manager is definitely in charge of that for sure. Overseeing.
Absolutely, exactly. And even in retail or whatever it is, you got to have somebody with those types of personality traits is perfect for that for a
Yeah.
higher role
Well,
in the business.
they have to be meticulous about the products that they're ordering, right? So they have enough quantity. And so, like,
Exactly.
what came to mind for me was math, right? So accounting,
Yep. That
anything that has to do
especially,
with mathematics,
yes.
attention to detail, order, stability, like that just fits like a perfect math person to me.
That's that's absolutely one of the other things that I was thinking of, for an accountant, those are
Yeah,
you have to be meticulous. You have to be on triple checking, double checking, triple checking, whatever it is. I mean, you got to make sure that all the ducks are in a row because
yeah,
if there's a little mistake with a job like that, I don't think mistakes like that are easily acceptable. As if you slip up in a different job or in a retail store, you might put the wrong price on a different item. You know what I mean? And something like accounting, having somebody with those traits is essential for that type of role because they have to make sure that everything is on point with that job. All the numbers have
exactly.
to add up. The balancing, like I've done as an operator, banking as well. Banking is another thing where you have to have those personality traits because you got to be careful the way that you do everything in the bank when you're doing the deposits and you're signing somebody up for a loan, whatever the case is. I think in
Yeah,
all aspects of working in a bank, whatever role you are, you
yeah,
have to have those personality traits because you got to be efficient. You have to know what you're talking about when a customer comes in and they want to ask you about a CD or whatever it is. You have to
yeah,
know what you're talking about and be able to sign them up. And then there's a process when you go in there. So you want to get a loan. There's a process for that. You got to get the paperwork done.
yeah. And
Sometimes
you're dealing with
Michaela
people's
has things, huh?
and you're dealing with people's money.
You're dealing with people's money, so that's something that they're very anal about, and that's like, huh?
Yep.
What was
You,
that?
you don't want to make a mistake when you're dealing with somebody's finances.
Oh, please, yeah, like that. Michaela is she's a universal banker at her job at the bank that
Uh,
she works at, and so she does a couple different things over there. And so you have customers that come in. I mean, yeah, you don't want to mess with people's money. You don't want to be messing with people's pockets. And then especially sometimes she's going to sign up somebody for a loan. If it comes in, it's a different type of loan, not just for a personal. If it's for a business or whatever, the paperwork for that could be up to 100 pages. And then everything's got to be on point with every single page in there. Because if one page is wrong, all of a sudden now you have a halt in the process. You
yeah,
might even make the customer mad because they're like, okay, why is there something going on? Like when especially someone's got a lot of money, they want everything to be handled properly. So even like, especially in those situations, you got to be meticulous about everything that you're doing, because if the paperwork's not adding up, maybe
So
their trust in you as their banker might not, it might not be there anymore. So
so
they
Michaela,
might want to.
Michaela fits in the conscientious personality type.
That's yes.
That's awesome. Okay, so we got Michaela in the C. We the steady personality, the agreeable, amenable. That's Grandpa. That's us sometimes. You and me.
Hmm.
Grandma sometimes.
Yep.
Influencer. I think mom fits into that as well. Your mom fits into that.
Absolutely.
Giselle fits into that.
Yep.
You and I fit into that. And then the dominant, we wear the dominant sometimes, but definitely grandma can wear the dominant sometimes.
um, she can
Uncle
definitely
Tom
want
has a dominant
things. Yeah,
personality. Huh?
absolutely. They definitely like when you want things to go a certain way, and
Yeah. It's my way
um,
or the highway.
we're it's my way or the highway, and we're more go with the flow kind of
Yeah.
personalities.
Yeah.
Whereas she'll be the type where she knows what she wants. She knows what she wants to eat for dinner or something, and we're like, oh, I could go for some wine tasting at Cooper's Hawk with some appetizers. Oh,
Yeah.
but that chicken over there is so good. Oh, but this other restaurant, like we're down for whatever. We're like, don't ask us to make a decision, because we're like we're going with the flow. We're
Yeah.
agreeable, whatever. Okay, you want to go there? Okay, let's do it.
Absolutely. That is totally us, man.
So I guess when it comes to making plans, having the stronger, a stronger side of the other personality traits, like
Yeah.
grandma has that. It's good to have that when you're trying to plan what to go out,
Balance.
because
Yeah.
people like us could be sitting there for half an hour trying to make plans, or we're going
Oh,
for
it's
the
so frustrating. Then we
night.
get frustrated. And we're like, screw it. I'm gonna eat some popcorn.
Then you're unsatisfied. Oh, what could
Right?
have been? What,
Damn it, I should
what
have
where
gone
could
for
the
the
night have
steak.
been?
I should have gone for the taco. Oh my gosh, man, so many times. But we're
Oh,
simple, man. We get over it. Not we don't hold grudges for too long. Usually, I think Sebastian, you and I are so similar. Like after a day, we're back to normal again.
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think we linger on bad, like bad feelings. You know what I mean?
I sometimes I'm
Once
in
in a while.
moments where I get upset, and then I try to stay upset, and then maybe Michaela makes me laugh or something like that, or whatever, and I'm like, now I'm smiling, now I'm giggling, now I'm giggly. Um, I try to stay
That's
upset still, and then I can. I'm like, okay, you know, I don't know.
yeah. No,
To
that's
to linger on to something for too long is not healthy for
yeah.
anyone. It's good
No,
to
it's
let
not
it
healthy.
go. You
Yeah,
know,
it's not time for
you
that. It's not
gotta.
body. No, no.
Yeah,
It's
no.
we're lighthearted, man. So that's a good thing.
Better to be optimistic. You gotta feel the emotion in the moment, because you gotta acknowledge it. But then, after
Yeah,
a certain extent, it's like, okay, I felt like this for a little bit. Am I gonna let it affect my whole day though? That's something that she'll ask me sometimes. It's like something will piss me off, and like,
yeah,
okay, well, are you gonna let that bother you for the rest of the day? Are you gonna now? Am I gonna kill her mood because I'm in a bad mood? Because I
yeah,
want to linger on to something that I have no control over it. So why am I
yeah,
going to sit there stressing about it? And now am
yeah,
I going to, it's going to be a ripple effect. You're not just affecting your day. When
yeah,
you have a partner, you're affecting
yeah,
their day. And even if not, you're affecting your friends. If they want to talk to you, they might be in an awesome mood. Yeah, this didn't work out for me. So just screw everything. Like now you're killing their vibe. Now they might have told you something. They might have wanted to invite you out or something. Who knows?
yeah.
So yeah, to keep it short, like you're giving yourself a better quality of life by not lingering onto that, focusing on the more positive things, and then you're doing the same for others, because now you're not affecting them in a negative way.
So I've reflected on this a lot recently, and I feel like it's easier said than done. Like I 100% agree with what
Absolutely,
you're saying, and logically, but emotionally, my body takes over sometimes,
it's hard.
oftentimes, and I get stuck in an emotional feeling like I can't control it, and I'm waiting. It's like if you have a fever and you're waiting for the fever to pass. I feel like my emotions could be down, upset, and I have to just wait for it to expire, right? Like for the fever to go
Yeah,
away, so I can go back to normal again. I hate that.
It
but
takes,
you do.
yeah,
And, uh,
it takes time
yeah,
sometimes. In some cases, with certain scenarios, it takes time for that feeling to go away. And then also,
yeah.
another thing that helps is to focus your attention on something else.
Positive, absolutely.
That's
And
what
working
helps
out,
me.
I find is like one of the best things you can do. Like
I
if you're,
always feel like yeah, you feel
you know,
rejuvenated.
yeah, like go for a jog. Like if I go for a jog, it's gonna make me feel better. You know what I mean? Even something
Absolutely.
different, like maybe my body's going through a phase, and I've got those chemicals in my brain, and they need to flush out. But like running, like doing some kind of physical fitness, is gonna help you flush it out. I think. That's been my experience.
I agree. I love running too. My girlfriend's into running now. She is on the wave of the runners. Like she didn't enjoy it too much at first, but then the more she got into it, now it gets a lot easier. And then even with myself, like we took a
Yeah,
break from the gym for a little while. I stopped working out for quite a little bit, and then now getting back into it, it's it gets a lot easier every time I work out. Now the workouts get easier, and now the diet is matching what I'm doing in the gym. So it's like with all those things combined, it releases endorphins in your brain because
yeah,
even just by doing it, even before the workout's done, I already start feeling better when I track. Like now, I'm actually tracking the stuff that I'm eating because I talked about it for several months now, and we've started the podcast a year ago, and here I am. I still got the chipmunk cheeks. It's like you can talk about it all the time, but now that I'm tracking it, I feel like the scale is gonna go down. It's been going down, but I feel more like I have that mind muscle connection, and really just mentally when you track it, whatever you're eating, you can be a little bit more lenient, but as long as you're tracking it, you're hitting your goal, and then you're eating healthier, so it makes you feel better, and then you go for that run, and now you have a sense of accomplishment. Okay, not only did I do the workout, but I did the hard part. Now I had the discipline with the food, and I made the better decision. And like going to get those workouts in, sometimes I'm having a rough day. I don't feel like doing it after work. I don't feel like going. And my girlfriend helps me. She like, are you gonna be lazy today, or are you gonna go and do some work? Are you gonna go put some work in? Are you gonna do something for yourself? Because now you were just working for this company. Yeah, you made yourself some money, but you're over there working for them. Now it's time. Like when you get off, you people have the 9 to 5. What's the 5 to 9 like? Are
yeah,
you gonna go and do the work for yourself and just doing it, not like when you're done, then your body gives you the reward, then you feel the endorphins going, and you feel a lot happier. It changes your whole mood. Like I feel like I woke up. I don't know, I feel
yeah,
like sometimes I wake up and I'm tired after my workout. I feel like I just woke up with a whole bunch of energy. It's you feel like you get more energy, and you get the sense of accomplishment, the sense of pride that you had the discipline today to go and do that. And it's like sometimes the reason for not going is because of how crappy you feel, but maybe that's the reason exactly why you need to go, because you feel like crap. You need to go over there and get a workout in. You don't
mm.
know what the afterwards is going to be like. You sit there thinking of all the negative crap that's going on, but the feeling that you're going to get after you work out is amazing. And
Well,
then
yeah.
you're accomplished.
Well, and you sweat out toxins in your body too.
That's like one of the biggest things about the workout, especially with saunas, like I mean, just
Mm.
working out in general, when you're sweating out those toxins, you're getting the negative stuff in your body is coming out. So
Do you guys have a sauna at your gym?
no, we're at Planet Fitness right now, so they don't have any saunas. They have like massage beds, and then
Okay.
they also have this red light therapy thing that we've talked about. We haven't tried it yet. I don't really know everything about it.
Okay. Let me know when you find out.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
it's the Planet Fitness gyms are really popular up here. They have a lot of them. The red
They
light
open
therapy sounds.
here
Hmm?
right off of Southside Boulevard and Beach.
Oh, they have one over there off of Beach. I think we used to go there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, over towards like you go past the Walmart
You know
or
what
like
the
on the way.
yeah, right across the street from the Walmart, like a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, I know. Yeah, we used to go and train there.
Oh, okay. In the gym here at Esplanade, they took out the back and shoulder machine.
No,
Yeah. So now I'm
what did
gonna
they
have
replace it with?
to.
What'd you say?
I said, so now I'm gonna have to go join Bailey's.
Bailey's is an amazing gym, though. I think
Yeah, they opened.
eventually we're gonna go to Crunch. Bailey's has a sauna too. I'm
Did,
pretty sure that they do. They do have saunas in there. I used to go to the one on Beach. Is that the one that you were talking about?
yeah, beach on beach and St. John's Bluff.
Yeah, St. John's Bluff is, I think, the one that I've been to. I had a
Okay.
friend that would train there, and when I first started lifting weights, he really taught me a lot over there. And
Hmm.
they have everything that you need and more. They have the saunas. I miss having the sauna. We're gonna eventually. They have Crunch Fitness out here. I think they have it down there too.
Yeah.
They have one. I believe we're gonna be moving towards like Braintree area. They have one over there. Right now, it's been a little bit far of a commute for us to want to go over there, but we're going to be closer. And I think they have the sauna there, the massage beds and all of that. But the sauna is great, especially for people that drink. You know,
Sweat
you're
it out.
drinking toxins in your body. So
Yeah.
going to use the sauna is
Yeah.
amazing for that. But working out in general
Yeah.
is a way to release the toxins no matter what, especially going for a run.
So
That's
let me ask you this. Um, Now that you're just left the gym, you're gonna go home. Generally, what time do you usually go to bed after working out? And what do you do to unwind so that you can get ready for bed? Because like I remember when I used to work out this at this time of night, I wouldn't be able to go to bed until like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
yeah. So for me, I can go to bed either when I lay down and my head touches the pillow and I start watching something. I can fall asleep or I can stay up until 12, 1. Um, lately, it depends. Sometimes I might
God,
want to play the game for a little bit.
that was
Huh?
22 again.
It's, well,
20,
it's
you'll
not
be
good for
24.
me. Huh?
You're gonna be 24 this year, actually. So you're 23.
Yeah, I'm 23. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
23 now. It's hard to believe it too. The time's going by quick.
so
But
quick.
yeah, I sometimes I like to play the Xbox for a little bit at night. I used to play it a lot. Now it's kind of like a leisure thing. Every now and then during the week, I might get
Yeah,
on.
gotta get up
My
and go to
friends,
work.
yeah, I gotta work, man. I gotta work, so I work a lot. So it's
Yeah.
hard to do that on days where I'm at work all day. But it's either that or we might watch some TV. We'll watch a show that we like. We'll get into different shows.
What
So
show are you
after the
into?
gym. Right now, we've been watching Gordon Ramsay a lot. So he had
Oh,
Kitchen
okay.
Nightmares. He's got Hell's Kitchen. We watched just about all of Kitchen Nightmares. So now
Is
we're
there-
on the Hell's Kitchen. Um, it's it's a great show. You know, I
yeah, we
love
need to have
watching
Gordon
him.
Ramsay on our podcast.
Oh man, one day that'll be amazing. And then this podcast, then we'll actually be with him, and he'll be showing us how to make some recipes. I like that idea.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Um,
Great.
but yeah, that's what we've been watching now, and I'm really into that show right now. We're on the third season already. That's kind of what we do. We get back. I got some stuff earlier to meal prep, so we're gonna make some of that for today. It's either gonna be ground beef or some chicken for dinner tonight. So we're gonna basically get back, cook something, and then watch some TV, and then I might fall asleep pretty quickly. I don't with the job that I have now, and then us going to the gym after work. I can fall asleep whenever. I can take a nap at whatever part of the day. I just gotta put my head on the pillow. I start laying down, and I start falling asleep. I start snoring. She wakes me up. She's like, "Stop snoring," or she tries to get me to stay up. um, I'd say generally around 10 o'clock. You know,
Okay.
that's that's
And
about
what
the
time do you get
time.
up in the morning?
It depends. If I have to work in the morning shift, I have to be there at 6:45. So I'll get
Mhm.
up anywhere between 5 a.m. and 6. If I want to go and hit the heavy bag at the warehouse before I have work, then I'll try to get there by 6. So I'm up at 5 o'clock. I
Mhm.
like to get there quite a bit earlier. That way I can at least have 20 to 30 minutes to hit the heavy bag and work on different things on that. They have a little speed bag on the back of it. So if I'm trying to show up early and work out, I do that. But if I'm just trying to get there a little bit earlier than the start time, I'll get up around 5:30 to 6 o'clock. If I work in the afternoon shift, then I can sleep in a little bit, get up around 7, 8.
Nice. That's nice to have some flexibility.
It's nice to have flexibility. Yeah. I don't know what time I'm gonna work every day though, so that part of it is like you get the text the night before the
Uh,
next day. So
yeah, okay.
like whatever time you're gonna start, you don't get the text till around 7.
Yeah.
So I kind of like wait in angst during the day, like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna plan the day tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. That I can see that for sure.
But the flexibility of being able to sleep in a little bit more is a good positive to look at because some days I can get more rest. So it's my body definitely needs it. I put my body through a lot. Um, Even at the gym now, instead of just doing the weights, we
Yeah.
added the cardio, and then after adding the cardio, now we add core training. So we do the weight training, the core training, and then the cardio. That way, everything's getting trained, and we're trying to cut right now. We're trying to really lean out and get toned up.
Mhm.
So the intensity of the workouts is matching that, of how much we're doing. Because if you just want to build muscle, then I suppose you could just do the weightlifting. Some of them even do the abs and the core training and the cardio as well. It really just depends on what you want to do. That's what we're doing now. So after doing all of that, and I just worked all day lifting heavy stuff. I'm going up and down stairs. I'm carrying it for a really long walk around the house to the truck. So after a full day of doing that, it could be anywhere from like a 5 hour shift to a 15-hour shift. I don't know what I'm gonna walk into when I go to work.
That's a
So
lot.
it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely a
Yeah.
lot on the body. So I can I can get more rest. You know what I mean? I can let my body recover a little bit more than I do right now.
Well, yeah. Now
Um,
I see why you can fall asleep when you put your head on the pillow.
you know what I mean? When I put my head on the pillow, it's over. I get comfy. Once I stretch out, I'm like, I just want to stretch my legs for a second. Once that happens, it's over.
Hey, so I don't know, you probably know this, but I learned it. I was watching a video on immigration law, which is the area that I work in,
Hmm.
and this guy was talking about the gotcha removal companies have become so popular as a franchise investment that they're like basically they've sold out all of the territories, and now they're doing people that have bought them are doing resells, and they're over $1 million to buy a franchise.
Wow.
Yeah, that's substantial, right?
You would think I would have known that.
Well, now you
Yeah,
do.
shame
Yeah,
on me for not knowing that when I work for them.
yeah,
But
exactly.
that's
I mean, now you know how
the
valuable they are. If you were to buy one, it would cost you over $1 million, especially in Boston.
it's really expensive out here
Hmm.
in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
They charge a lot. It's really expensive out here.
Massachusetts.
Oh, you know what's funny? I learned that up here. My girlfriend actually just mentioned that Rhode Island actually pays a lot more taxes than we do. Apparently, they
Oh,
pay the
really?
most. So I can't
They have a
imagine what owning a franchise out there is like.
little.
Yeah, it's it's expensive though to do the job. Like it's a lot that goes into the company of having the trucks, maintaining those trucks. I'm sure that million
Yeah.
dollars that goes into owning the franchise accounts for all of these different things. You got to get the gas cards for the trucks. You
Hmm.
got to maintain
Oh,
the
there's a lot of
trucks.
overhead. Sure.
Yeah, getting rid of the items costs a lot of money now. The transfer stations charge more
Yeah.
every year. So it all depends on where you are, I would say. But $1 million to start a franchise, man, Chick-fil-A sounds a lot better. They're like 40K, 50K.
Yeah. Well, and you have to work for them already, so you have to be invited to get it to take a franchise with them. You can't just go out and buy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. But the environment they say is really good. I don't want to buy a. I don't want to own a job. I want to own a company that I can put a manager to oversee it, and I get a split of the pie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be happy to buy any franchise that I don't have to be there. Right? Like the
Yeah,
4 hour work week.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll spend an hour a week overviewing, overseeing the books.
Yep.
Legit.
Yep. You got to pay somebody else to do the work.
Exactly. Let
You're
somebody
just
else.
franchising it.
Yeah, yeah. And then with like if you bought a Chick-fil-A franchise, you have to be the manager. You have to be there all the time. So
Yeah, no, I'd
I'm not.
rather get something investment properties, something you don't have to
Yeah,
do that
yeah,
every single day.
yeah.
Yeah,
Semi-passive income is better for sure, in my opinion.
absolutely.
Unless you just absolutely love it, then go for it. Well, listen, I'm
That's
going to go ahead
true.
and wrap up. We've gone over
Yep,
the hour, and boy, it's been a real pleasure to connect with you, Sebastian, and do this together with you again after
it
eight
has
months. Man,
been.
this has been fun.
I know
Which
it's
is
been
why
a
we started
while.
to begin with. We started this when you were in Boston a year and a half ago, so that we could hang out together. Remember?
That's right. I was thinking about that today.
Yep. And so here we are again. Life is funny that way, right?
I know things how things come full circle. You
I
know,
know, man. But you know
it's
what? One day maybe there'll be another chapter where we're sitting side by side in a studio doing this. That would be fun.
I like that idea.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Even if I have to get in my private jet and fly to you.
Gotta just call the Learjet real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop over and bring me a New York pizza on the way.
I have to make sure that Team Edward isn't using it. Right? Flying to Brazil.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
All right, kiddo. I love you. It was really great hanging out with you. And for everybody who's watching, thank you so much for joining us for episode 46 of the Entrefluential Life. And go out there and amplify.
Amplify your message.
Take care,
All
everybody. God
right.
bless you
Take
all.
care. Love you too, Dad. That was fun. Bye bye.
See you guys.